Procrastination. Man, what a bitch. The truth is, we all procrastinate. For some people, it's worse than others. It can cause anxiety, guilt, inadequacy, and even depression. But whether you have your procrastination under control, or like us, your life is a bit of a shambles, we have all felt that we can sharpen up our use of time a little. The morning routine we want is to wake up at 6:30 a.m, make coffee and read for at least 30 minutes. We then write in our gratitude journals, setting a good mindset for the day, and meditate for at least 10 minutes. We will then eat breakfast according to the new diets that we've adopted, and reply to emails and arrange our work days according to priority and productivity. Then, by 8 a.m, we're in the gym, throwing around iron plates like gorillas. But that didn't happen this morning, or yesterday, or for the last 2 months, and that's because the monkey in our brains wants instant gratification and really likes pictures and motivational quotes on Instagram. This monkey also loves irony. The guilt we feel for not living our best morning leads us to question why, God, why? Why do we procrastinate? Why is it seen as a negative habit, and how the hell do we stop?
Let's talk science! The English Oxford Dictionary defines procrastination as to delay or postpone action or put off something. In Dr. Steele's book, The Procrastination Equation, he explains that it is so much more than just delay. And that's because procrastination isn't just delaying a task, but doing so irrationally, knowing that we will be worse off for delaying the task, and so acting against our best interests. Dr. Steele has an equation for working out the level of procrastination in a person, and it's called the temporal motivation theory. He works it out in the same way that Einstein works out energy. An equation for procrastination. What?
Procrastination equation. Motivation equals expectancy times value over 1 plus impulsiveness times delay. This is from Dr. Steele's book, okay? So the expectancy is how you believe you will achieve on the task that has been placed in front of you, okay? Value is how much you value the task itself and what you will achieve, or what is the end goal, how much you value that task.
Okay.
1 plus impulsiveness. If you expect to not perform relatively well and you don't value it at all, your impulsiveness will be increased, and the delay is the length of the task. Length of time till the task is completed. Really.
Okay.
Okay. So if the delay is over a year and the value is relatively low, the impulsiveness will be increased.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, with my dissertation situation.
Dissertation situation.
Dissertation situation.
Yes, the dissertation.
Sounds like a Big Bang Theory
It
title.
does actually.
The dissertation situation. My expectancy was to perform averagely, so not particularly well.
Right, yeah.
And the value that I put on the outcome of that task was very low.
So the degree, all of it,
I
just the grade
simply
itself.
wasn't bothered by that at all, really. I didn't desire to have a great grade or anything like that, or anything. So my impulsiveness, my likelihood to be distracted, and the likelihood that I was going to go out and party instead of sitting down and writing a paragraph on my dissertation, skyrocketed.
Exactly.
And because the delay until the deadline was over a year, I could just perpetually put this task off, apply for a very long time, until suddenly, 2 weeks before deadline, I'd done nothing. I didn't sleep for about 4 days, and then I decided that it wasn't for me.
Exactly, and that explains the motivation behind the task itself.
Exactly, which was minimal.
Yes.
Okay, so that explains the dissertation situation, but then why would I find it so easy to be in the gym every day when my goals there are based over 5 to 10 years?
Well, maybe Mel Robbins can explain that.
Mel Robbins believes that procrastination is linked to stress, and the more stress that we believe we will encounter from a task, our mind automatically perceives that stress as a risk, and therefore the instant gratification monkey is sent out to play. There's a study that indicates that procrastination is the success pushing against failure, and the point in the middle is the procrastination. The idea is that we procrastinate with subjects that produce a greater amount of stress caused by others, doubting our ability, our performance, and even our self-worth.
As Nick Vogue discusses in his TED Talk, procrastination is a form of self-protection of our self-worth. And this can be seen in exams, in coursework, and in anything that is validated by a separate entity. So you can also see that in the difference between my dissertation situation and my gym situation, where the dissertation was being validated by a separate entity, and my gym work was all my own. It was my own goals and my own validation.
Everyone is different, and each individual will have their own stressor. Some will prefer to have their work and their tasks validated by a separate entity, whereas others would prefer to manage their own tasks, set their own benchmarks, and self-worth.
My dissertation situation was the final chapter in a long line of academic procrastination, which resulted in, well, not successfully. But we procrastinate small and large tasks every day, and some have no outside meaning or value to our lives whatsoever, whereas others, like my dissertation situation, could potentially change your life. Procrastination seems to be a primal survival instinct, but it's pretty outdated and unnecessary now since we don't often get eaten anymore. There are benefits, however, to keeping this instinct alive, such as smart procrastination, like waiting for more information before making an informed decision. Some demands might lead to risky or negative outcomes, and waiting or procrastinating on those might be seen as a wise move.
Procrastination doesn't often have a detrimental effect when there is a due date. We often pull it out just before it's due, the night before. This was often the case with me when I had homework or coursework, or any forms really. I tend to just really dislike forms. It would often be done the night before. Yes, the night before, late night, no sleep, powering through and giving it in that day. And yes.
Like your tax forms that you haven't done for 4 years.
There's no due date on those, so that's why that's not been done yet. So they should actually have a due date on that one. They probably do, I don't know.
I think they might.
So as Nick Vogue covers in his talk, in his TED Talk, the reason that we sometimes delay the task and do it the night before is that, or study the night before, is so that we have that excuse as to why we didn't perform particularly well, because our self-worth is being judged by somebody else. So therefore, the stress of that sometimes means we do put it off, but then we have that fall as to why we didn't perform particularly well.
Yeah, I can relate to that, definitely.
I can, for sure.
If, however, there is no deadline, which is often the case with entrepreneurs and self-starters, you can find it extremely hard to even begin the task, let alone complete one, which can lead to guilt, regret, and low self-esteem. We procrastinate tasks every day, like doing the washing or going to the gym. For myself, I even procrastinate making breakfast or brushing my teeth, which is just ridiculous when I think about it. I put a 2-minute task off for 10 minutes.
Sometimes longer.
Where I could just get it done and it's finished, and then I can sit down and watch more celebrity interviews with Keanu Reeves because he's an absolute angel and I love it. But how can we stop procrastinating? Well, one thing that I have found particularly helpful was learning self-awareness. So whenever I was off task, I would catch myself and talk to myself about how what I was doing in that moment was not benefiting my life whatsoever, like playing video games or watching celebrity interviews. And whatever it was that I was putting off was inevitably going to be beneficial to my life, my future, and my goals. Even then, it can be hard for the rational thinker to convince the monkey in your brain to get up and just do it. Just do it! But when I set myself small goals to offer the gratification monkey in short bursts, I find it so much easier to complete tasks of varying risks and values to myself.
When preparing this video, we allowed regular breaks that weren't timed, but we were consciously aware of the amount of time that was taking to have a break. making sure that we came back to complete the task. We set a task each day, ensuring that the task was completed by the end of the day, and helping each other to not get distracted for too long, which I needed a lot of help with.
Yeah, so did I though. So we want to leave you with our 5 favourite procrastination busting habits that we have developed. Number 1.
Oh no!
Is that we don't go on our phones for the first hour at least of every day, or any electronic device,
devices,
or the internet or anything like that, emails, nothing.
TVs, no.
Nope, none of it for an hour.
It just lets us start our day the right way.
Yeah, with a good
Really.
routine. Number 2.
2.
Dust.
2.
We break down big goals into small tasks. A big goal that might take a month or 2, we break down into daily tasks, and with maybe weekly goals as well.
Yeah.
And shorter tasks will break down. Again, we'll break those down into even more. We might give ourselves a couple of tasks a day that we want to get completed, but with a goal for that day to get those things done, basically.
Exactly.
Number 3. Dres. Is self-awareness and an accountability partner. So we're lucky enough to have each other and hold each other accountable. But what that essentially means is one, having the self-awareness to know that you are likely to be distracted and procrastinate some sort of task in a project at some point, and to be willing to have somebody else who can come to you and say, you know, you're off task, get back onto it. Maybe a little nicer than that, but yeah, I mean that's essentially that's essentially what it is.
Just end up saying, hey, you do your shit.
Something like that. Yeah. Quattro.
4
is rewarding ourselves.
Yes.
For completing tasks.
We usually reward ourselves with a little break, where we tend to go outside for a little bit and do something weird and wonderful. That's what we tend to do.
Yeah, some tasks are just horrible to complete and you just don't want to do them at all, and those are really taxing. So we might, depending on the length that that task will take, we might give ourselves a break like every 10 minutes or something. But
the goal is to still finish our task at the end of the day, if that's what we've set, or week, or whatever. But we do allow ourselves to have those breaks where we can chill.
So that doesn't mean 10 minutes of work and then 2 hours break
at
all. It just means something that you can do that's completely off task for a short amount of time that can just help you not be quite so taxed by the
for
effort
example,
you're putting
we
into
would
the task.
maybe say do research for an hour on one particular person, like Mel Robbins, watch all her videos or whatever, and if it's getting a bit taxing, rather than just going straight into the next research with the next person, we'll tend to go and explore or do something else, have a break, take ourselves completely away from it, don't even discuss it, come back, carry on the research. That's the sort of thing that we would do. So
And number 5
is our own personal thing that we've made,
the procrastination buster. And this is like a sort of like a morning worksheet is how we deal with it, which you can do it daily, weekly, monthly. You put your big goals in there, things that you want to achieve, not only not only in something that you want to be successful, so maybe, I don't know, like you might be building a business, or you might be...
Or a hobby. There's like, we've got a section for hobbies as well, if you want to learn to play the guitar.
Exactly, or learn a language or something like that. You can use this for any of those things. And then the other thing that it does is help you clear your mental desk, we call it. So that would be small tasks that are easily distracting, but also that you will just shove aside and sweep under the carpet. So it'll be things like taking an item of clothing back to a store that you haven't done for ages, making your bed, paying a small bill that you've ignored
doing
for a
your
while.
tax forms.
Doing your tax forms. Just things like that that are always going to be eating away at the back of your mind, that you can just, you sit there, maybe you dedicate a day to doing those things. You get those things done, and then you can focus without distraction on your big tasks and goals.
Exactly. Anyways.
So yeah.
That's going to be in the description.
Yeah,
to
that will.
download.
So you can use it if you want. You can download it, you can print it off, you can fill it out on your computer, however you want to use it. If you want to use it, it will be there for your enjoyment.
Exactly.
Thanks
Okay.
very much, guys. It's been awesome. See you again soon.
Bye-bye. See ya. Just look at the camera. Like we're preparing this video, we set regular breaks. No, when preparing this video.
Stop shouting at the camera.
When preparing this video.
Let's talk science.
Let's talk science.
Let's talk science. Let's talk science.
Sorry.